Okay, so today we're going to be asking the question, what if Island Gang united? Uh, so here's, as we all know, Island Gang is the proposed union between Cuba, Liechtenstein, Madagascar, Sri Lanka, Japan, the Philippines, Australia, and New Zealand. They also claim the areas shown in pink, and land controlled by Island Gang is shown in red. So first, let's look at the demographics, the population of Island Gang. Now, Liechtenstein has 38,749 people, so not a lot. Japan has 125,960 thousand. I mean, 125,960,000 people, which is like the largest. Then we have Australia, which is 25,692,300 people, which makes up 8% of Island Gang. New Zealand has 5,994,610 people, which is 2% of Island Gang. And if you combine Australia and New Zealand, that's 30 million people, so 10% of Island Gang. Cuba has 11 million people, that's 4%. Madagascar has 26 million, that's 8%. Sri Lanka has 21 million, that's 7%. Philippines has 109 million, that's 34%. And total would, like all Island Gang put together, is 325 million people. So it would be the third highest population on Earth behind India and China. And as you can see, most of this population is going to be in Japan and the Philippines, followed by the other countries. Then for the GDP, gross domestic product, as we can see, most of it is Japan. So Liechtenstein is 6 billion. Japan is 5 trillion, which is 71% of Island Gang's GDP. Australia has 1 trillion, which is 19%. New Zealand has 193 billion, which is 2%. And if you put them together, that's 21%. Cuba has 100 billion, which is 1% of Island Gang's GDP. Madagascar has 14 billion, which is 0%. Sri Lanka, 81 billion. The Philippines, 367 billion. And if the total GDP of Island Gang would be 6,891 billion, which would be the third highest GDP on Earth behind the USA and China. And as you can see, most of that GDP is in Japan, Cuba, and Australia, but mostly Japan. Then we have the military. So Liechtenstein does not have a military. They most of their defense is done by Switzerland. Then we have Japan with 317,000 military personnel. Australia 78,000. New Zealand 11,000. Australia and New Zealand put together, that's 79. Wait, no, it should say 89,000. Not okay. Then Cuba has a lot. 1,234,000. Madagascar has 21,000. Sri Lanka 353,000. Philippines 334,000. And then the total military personnel of Island Gang would be 2,350,200 soldiers. So as you can see, most of this is actually Cuba, and the reason I think this is because most of these countries are like allies with the United States, and they don't really need a large military, but Cuba does have a large military. And so that would give it the 7th largest on Earth behind China, Russia, India, Vietnam, and North Korea. So technically, they would have a slightly larger army than the United States, but that's just the total number of personnel, which doesn't actually fully represent how powerful Island Gang's military would actually be. So I'd say the United States would probably be a lot stronger than Island Gang in terms of military. Then we have territorial disputes. Now, if we go back here, we can see that Island Gang claims a lot of land, and this would be a problem for them. They're immediately going to be enemies of all of those countries: United Kingdom, Ireland, Canada, Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, Italy, Denmark, France, Cyprus, Taiwan, okay, misspelled Haiti there, the Dominican Republic. So Island Gang, it has a lot of enemies, and I don't think Island Gang would last very long, especially because of the different political and economic differences between Cuba and the rest of Island Gang, and how for the population and GDP, like, Japan would be mostly dominant. So I don't think Island Gang would last very long. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and subscribe. If you didn't enjoy this video, I want you to dislike and leave a comment telling me how stupid I am and how I shouldn't have done this, because it makes no sense. So there, that's it. That's What If Island Gang United. I don't actually edit my videos, so I just made a slideshow because, I mean, that was like faster.